Oh no, what a shame. What a shame.
Oh dear.
Happy birthday, Meghan Markle. Are you surprised she's apparently already gotten snubbed?
I'm sorry. This is karma, bitch.
45th birthday, it went publicly unacknowledged by the royal family.
Not acknowledge them in any capacity. That relationship is simply isn't there anymore. They believe Meghan played a significant role in the breakdown of family trust, and I think any suggestion that they're secretly exchanging birthday wishes belongs more in the realm of wishful thinking than a reality.
Meghan Markle's 45th birthday was meant to dominate the headlines, fill social media with celebration, and remind everyone she was thriving far from royal life. The internet was flooded with balloons, dancing, flowers, desserts, and carefully shared moments that painted a picture of happiness and success. But while all those celebrations unfolded, Buckingham Palace responded with something nobody could ignore. Not criticism, not a statement, not even a polite acknowledgement, just complete silence. That single response quickly became the biggest talking point of the entire birthday, and it changed the story before Meghan's celebrations could fully take over the news. And that silence was only the beginning of what became an unexpectedly uncomfortable birthday story. There was no official birthday post, no royal portrait, no warm wishes from King Charles, no message from William and Catherine, and not even one carefully worded sentence recognizing that the Duchess of Sussex had reached her milestone 45th birthday.
This birthday, this 45th birthday, has turned into an absolute disaster for Meghan Markle. Don't you think there's something quite sad about the fact 45 years old, you know, that is, I'm 43. You should be very content at that age, very happy about where you're at with life, very confident in your friendship groups and your career. And Meghan had the opportunity for all of that. And actually what we're seeing today is just a trickle. No one really wants to acknowledge this. No one really wants to celebrate her. She's probably going to end up having to celebrate herself.
Meghan Markle, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes. I'm not sure it's always the gift that we want to keep on giving.
Meghan doesn't understand what it means to actually be royalty. She thinks it's like being an influencer and a celebrity, and it's just not. And she degrades and demeans what it means to be royal by acting as crass as she does.
King Charles, though, I think he's a bit of a softie. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends a card. And
that card will end up on a Netflix documentary at some point.
Possibly.
The palace did not criticize Meghan or create a public dispute. Instead, it simply carried on as though the day never happened at all. As Meghan continued sharing joyful moments and birthday highlights, the contrast between those celebrations and the royal family's silence only became more impossible to ignore. The palace did not attack Meghan. It did something far worse. It carried on as if her birthday did not exist. And while Meghan desperately tried to make the day look huge, joyful, glamorous, and full of love, every new post made the silence around her even louder. First came the pool jump, then the kitchen dancing, then the flowers, then the birthday dessert stuffed with products from her own brand. Then, As Ever stepped in to praise its own founder, and before the celebration was over, commentators were asking whether Meghan had spent her 45th birthday celebrating herself, because almost nobody connected to the royal family was willing to do it publicly. This was supposed to be Meghan's victory lap.
Their desperate need to always seem to be out there and posting how wonderfully fun they are. You know, pictures of that, a clip of that, her jumping into a swimming pool, you know, that their life is just full of fun.
It's like jumping into the pool, like, thank you for the birthday love. You have no clue if people love you, Meghan. You have no idea. You're just kind of jumping into the deep end of the pool and tanking it as your career is with a bunch of balloons as if you're a toddler. This just feels, especially for a royal, like just being in a swimsuit like this just feels so undignified. Number one, people can't comment on your Instagram. So how do they know how do you know they're giving you birthday love? You're just anticipating that they're giving you birthday love.
Instead, it became a public humiliation she could not edit, crop, filter, or sell her way out of. The first blow landed before Meghan's birthday campaign could take control of the headlines. The official royal account stayed completely silent. Her name did not appear, her photograph did not appear, The institution behind the title she still proudly uses gave the public absolutely nothing. Royal commentators immediately tried to explain it away as protocol. Meghan is no longer a working royal. Official palace accounts do not post birthday tributes for every private family member. Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lily have been outside that public birthday policy for years. According to that version, nobody was snubbing her. The palace was simply following the rules. But rules do not make public rejection look any less savage. Meghan still appears as the Duchess of Sussex. She still uses the title in interviews, business promotions, television appearances, and major announcements. She's still married to the King's son.
But why do we need to see pictures of the Sussexes to this extent to commemorate her 45th birthday? You know, the trip to Britain didn't go down well. He lost the court case, so they're having to find a... And they talk about the famous privacy. Well, here they are. They seems to be filming stuff in their home, which you never see the Waleses do.
They live a very extraordinary kind of private life, as it were.
So Meghan Markle, to me, I feel like she's her own self-saboteur. Like, she self-sabotages everything. And I've said for the past few weeks, you know, she might be the first person to go rags to riches and then back to rags that quickly.
Meghan's favorite ice cream sundae. God, she's just so fake. She just can't be normal. This was done to show the engagement ring. It's gone, but she has huge diamond on the other hand. So she has so much. Look, good call, Sue. Look at that.
And remains the mother of a prince and princess, as the royal household quietly carried on without mentioning Meghan's birthday. She answered in the one place she still controlled completely, her own cameras and social media. Instead of waiting for recognition from Buckingham Palace, she filled the spotlight herself. Every new upload, every carefully chosen image, and every cheerful video pushed the same message. This birthday was a success, this life was thriving, and there was plenty to celebrate. Yet the more those posts appeared, the more people began comparing them with the complete silence coming from the royal family. With no royal acknowledgement came no royal validation. So the birthday celebration became bigger, louder, and far more visible across Meghan's own platforms. The content arrived quickly. First came Meghan in a black swimsuit, frozen in mid-air, as she leapt into a swimming pool surrounded by birthday balloons. The image projected carefree California freedom.
She is trying to convince us that the best way to consume an ice cream sundae this summer is with her very unappetizing runny spread. Then to get the headlines, Meghan, of course, had to include some videos, some imagery of her with her own dog, where guess what? She's eating an ice cream without the spread that she is trying to promote. Every single utterance is just a flat out distortion or lie.
She never takes a bite. She can't eat her own product.
It doesn't look natural. It looks forced. It looks like she is trying on another look because the first look didn't capture the public's interest or attention. Like, she's constantly again cycling through different identities, trying to find one that sticks.
She thanked everyone for the birthday love and presented the moment as though it had been a spontaneous burst of happiness captured by a friend without any planning. Then she appeared dancing around the enormous Montecito kitchen while the family dogs wandered through the scene. There was no formal royal portrait, no palace balcony, and no centuries-old traditions. Just Meghan, laughing, moving, and showing viewers that life outside the monarchy was, at least on camera, one non-stop private celebration filled with joy and freedom. But many commentators did not view those moments as effortless happiness. They saw a performance that seemed carefully designed to persuade people that everything was going perfectly. One television panel watched the kitchen clip and asked the obvious question, why did she need to show this at all? Their answer was blunt. Meghan and Harry appeared eager to convince everyone that their world was fun, loving, relaxed, and completely untouched by the controversies surrounding them. She was not simply dancing in her kitchen. She was recording the dance, packaging it into content, and presenting it to millions as proof that everything in her world was exactly as it should be. The clip was supposed to quiet the questions. Instead, it sparked an even bigger one. Who was Meghan trying so hard to convince? The public, the palace, or herself? That was the moment the birthday narrative began to lose its shine. A happy birthday is usually shared naturally. Meghan's birthday looked carefully produced. Every image appeared to serve a purpose. The balloons suggested she was playful. The kitchen suggested she was relaxed. The dog suggested the home was warm and welcoming. The flowers suggested a wholesome lifestyle. And the product suggested the brand was still very much alive. Every new birthday post seemed to deliver the same message again and again. Look how happy I am. Look how loved I am. Look how perfect everything is. But the more Meghan tried to project that picture, the more viewers focused on what the camera never revealed. Instead of talking about the balloons or the dancing, many people started asking what had been left outside the frame. Where were the close friends? Where was the crowded birthday table? Where was the lively gathering that matched all the celebration being shown online? Meghan laughed toward people beyond the camera, moved through carefully prepared rooms, and performed for the lens, while the actual birthday celebration itself remained largely out of sight. Then, Meghan shifted the attention from celebrating her birthday to promoting her business. She released a video demonstrating what she described as her favorite summer dessert. She started with vanilla ice cream before adding, as ever, raspberry spread, crushed shortbread, another layer of raspberry spread, and finally the brand's signature flour sprinkles. Nearly every layer of the sundae also served as a showcase for her own products. The message appeared straightforward. Celebrate like Meghan by buying Meghan's products and recreating Meghan's favorite dessert at home. But viewers quickly noticed an unexpected detail. In another shot, Meghan appeared holding nothing more than a plain ice cream cone, while one of her dogs stood nearby. The elaborate dessert covered in branded ingredients that had just been highlighted was nowhere to be found. That contrast quickly became another talking point online. Meghan had just shown viewers how to layer ice cream beneath her branded products. Yet moments later, she appeared to be enjoying a simple cone instead. Online discussions immediately followed. Why was Meghan not eating the dessert she'd just promoted? Why prepare an elaborate sundae for the camera, only to appear later with something completely different, while casually enjoying the rest of the day? The clip was intended to make as ever products look irresistible. Instead, some viewers came away with the impression that even the company's founder seemed to prefer a simpler version of the dessert. The dessert itself also became the subject of criticism. Raspberry spread, vanilla ice cream, crushed shortbread, and decorative sprinkles were presented as though they represented a remarkable lifestyle discovery. Meghan was not introducing a complicated recipe or an advanced culinary technique. She was simply adding raspberry spread to ice cream. Yet the video treated every scoop, drizzle, and sprinkle as though viewers were witnessing an exciting kitchen breakthrough. For many critics, the birthday celebration had gradually begun looking less like a personal milestone and more like a polished lifestyle promotion filmed inside a luxury home. Her own company then became part of that presentation. As Ever published a tribute celebrating its founder, turning the brand into Meghan Markle's own public cheerleader. The post praised Meghan, included nostalgic imagery, and ultimately allowed Meghan's business to congratulate Meghan for being Meghan. What made the entire birthday campaign even more unusual was that the applause increasingly seemed to come from Meghan's own business, rather than from the people many expected to hear from. It created a strange cycle that immediately caught people's attention. Meghan built the company celebrated Meghan, and the public was then expected to view that corporate tribute as though it were a completely natural outpouring of affection instead of branded promotion. That unusual contrast only made Buckingham Palace's silence stand out even more. The royal family did not publicly celebrate her. William and Catherine did not publicly celebrate her. The official royal accounts did not publicly celebrate her. So Meghan's own commercial brand stepped in to occupy the space that many believed had been left empty. The difference was difficult to ignore. The institution that granted her the Duchess of Sussex title remained completely silent. Meanwhile, the companies selling raspberry spread and flour sprinkles became the loudest source of public praise. Even so, Meghan still could not control where the conversation was heading. Just as the branded birthday celebration was attracting criticism online, another video sparked fresh comparisons across social media. Some online commentators quickly argued that the latest clip looked strikingly familiar. Meghan shared a softly filmed, carefully styled video from her garden. She wandered through blooming flowers, selected several stems, clipped them, carried them inside, and slowly arranged them into a bouquet. The atmosphere felt calm, domestic, and intentionally effortless. The video presented Meghan as someone enjoying quiet moments at home, finding beauty in nature rather than focusing on royal headlines. Soon afterward, however, viewers began comparing the clip with content previously shared by influencer Nara Smith. Nara had earlier published her own polished video, centered around gathering wildflowers. She spoke about planting seeds, watching them bloom, choosing her favorite flowers, bringing them indoors, and arranging them into a bouquet. The visual style immediately drew attention. Soft camera movements, blooming flowers, peaceful household moments, carefully composed scenes, and a relaxed lifestyle atmosphere all appeared familiar to many viewers. Within hours, online discussions were comparing Meghan's garden video with Nara's earlier content, with some critics describing Meghan's version as an imitation rather than something entirely original. The criticism was never that Meghan had invented flower arranging. After all, nobody owns bouquets, gardens, or slow-moving lifestyle videos. The discussion centered much more on the timing, the presentation, and the noticeable similarities that some viewers believed stood out. Those comparisons also arrived against a much broader backdrop. Meghan had already been compared with Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, Pamela Anderson, and several other well-known lifestyle personalities. Now, during what was supposed to be a celebratory birthday campaign, another carefully produced video was once again being measured against another creator's established style. That growing pattern mattered because Meghan was not facing one isolated comparison. As more birthday content appeared online, another narrative began gaining momentum among critics. Instead of focusing on the celebrations themselves, some questioned whether each new version of Meghan's public image was borrowing elements from styles that had already proven successful for other well-known personalities. That growing conversation shifted attention away from the birthday and toward an entirely different debate about identity and originality. Rather than giving the public a clearer picture of who Meghan was at 45, the latest videos and photos sparked fresh questions about who she was trying to present herself as this time. That was especially damaging because the entire birthday rollout depended on the feeling of authenticity. Meghan was inviting viewers into what appeared to be her real life. Her kitchen, her garden, her dogs, her favorite dessert, her playful dancing, and her private birthday celebration. The audience was meant to believe they were finally seeing the natural Meghan, far removed from palace traditions and royal expectations. But if the garden video reminded viewers of another creator, the Sunday resembled a product promotion, and the dancing felt carefully staged to some critics, then people naturally began asking what parts of the presentation were truly spontaneous. Commentators eventually reached an even tougher conclusion. Some argued that Meghan's biggest obstacle might be Meghan herself. The contrast between then and now became difficult for many observers to ignore. There was a time when Meghan rode through Windsor as crowds packed the streets. Cameras from around the world followed every moment. She'd become a working member of one of the world's most recognizable royal families, and many believed her future held limitless possibilities. Now, much of the attention surrounding her 45th birthday centered on raspberries spread over ice cream, flower sprinkles, a dance in the kitchen, and a birthday tribute published by the very company she founded. Then came another moment that many commentators argued could not simply be explained away as palace protocol. The pool photograph had been positioned as the signature image of Meghan's birthday. It was energetic, polished, glamorous, and designed to spread quickly across social media. The image showed Meghan in a black swimsuit, captured in mid-air as she leapt into the swimming pool beside colorful birthday balloons. At first glance, it projected confidence, freedom, and excitement as she entered her 45th year. Soon afterward, however, internet users began sharing an older photograph of Princess Diana jumping into a swimming pool in what many described as a remarkably similar pose. The conversation immediately shifted. Meghan's birthday image was no longer being discussed on its own. Instead, it was repeatedly displayed alongside Diana's photograph, with people pointing to the similar body position, airborne movement, and poolside composition. The balloons were different, but many online observers felt the central visual carried enough similarities to spark fresh comparisons with Diana's iconic image. It was also far from the first time Meghan had faced claims that her public presentation echoed elements associated with her late mother-in-law's image. As Meghan's birthday celebrations continued to unfold online, the comparisons did not slow down. They only grew louder. Her clothing, poses, accessories, interviews, and carefully staged photo shoots have often been compared with those of Princess Diana over the years. Some similarities could simply be coincidence. Diana remains one of the most photographed women in modern history, and it is almost inevitable that other royal women will occasionally wear similar colors, strike similar poses, or appear in similar settings. That alone does not automatically prove intention. But this latest birthday photograph arrived at a particularly difficult moment. It came after viewers had already been comparing the garden video to another creator's content, after the heavily discussed kitchen dancing, after the branded dessert promotion, and after Buckingham Palace had chosen not to publicly acknowledge Meghan's birthday. By the time Princess Diana entered the conversation, many online commentators believed they were seeing another piece of an already growing pattern rather than an isolated coincidence. The pool photograph might have survived one comparison on its own. Instead, it became part of a much larger discussion filled with claims of imitation and carefully managed public presentation. Throughout the birthday rollout, Meghan appeared to present several versions of herself: a carefree California mother, a glamorous duchess, a playful wife, a peaceful homemaker, a lifestyle entrepreneur, and a beloved public figure. Yet the image meant to define the celebration ended up directing much of the conversation back towards someone else entirely. Some royal commentators described the photograph as another example of Meghan appearing to recreate elements associated with Princess Diana, rather than simply paying tribute to her. That opinion was debated online, but the central criticism remained consistent. Some commentators argued that Meghan continued reaching for visual themes connected with Diana because of the admiration Diana inspired around the world. Others disagreed, but one reality remained. Every new comparison shifted attention away from Meghan and back toward Diana. Instead of strengthening Meghan's public identity, the discussion became centered on someone else's legacy. That is how many commentators described Meghan Markle's 45th birthday, reaching its most uncomfortable conclusion. Buckingham Palace never needed to criticize her publicly. There were no harsh statements or dramatic exchanges. The palace simply remained silent while the online conversation unfolded on its own. Meanwhile, Meghan responded by sharing nearly everything she could with the public. There were balloons, dancing, family dogs, flowers, desserts, raspberry spread, flower sprinkles, childhood photographs, personal thank you messages, and even a birthday tribute from her own company. The intention appeared clear: to create a warm, joyful celebration, reflecting the life she wanted audiences to see. Instead, many critics argued that the carefully presented content had the opposite effect. What was intended to feel personal began looking highly produced to some viewers. The garden video drew comparisons to Nara Smith's aesthetic. The signature pool photograph sparked comparisons with Princess Diana, and perhaps the loudest public birthday congratulations came not from the royal family, but from Meghan's own business. At the center of it all remained Buckingham Palace's silence. On the one day intended to celebrate Meghan, the royal institution treated the occasion no differently than any other day. To many commentators, that silence became the most powerful statement of all. Meghan could continue using the Duchess of Sussex title, but she could not compel the institution behind that title to publicly celebrate her. Several royal commentators suggested the relationship between Meghan and the senior working royals now appears far more distant than it once did. Following the interviews, the public disagreements, Harry's memoir, and years of criticism directed toward royal life, one royal expert remarked that expectations of warm private birthday gestures now seemed far removed from reality. Viewers noticed the dogs featured throughout the videos, while actual birthday guests remained largely unseen. Even Meghan's thank you message prompted discussion because she thanked the public for its birthday love before audiences had seen much evidence of a larger birthday gathering. None of this means Meghan lacks financial success, loyal supporters, or influence. She continues to attract attention and generate headlines. But many observers argued that the conversation has fundamentally changed. Rather than focusing on royal milestones, much of the attention now revolves around social media posts, lifestyle branding, product launches, and online debates over presentation. Meghan appeared determined to make her 45th birthday revolve around optimism and a fresh chapter. Yet after Buckingham Palace remained silent and social media users examined nearly every carefully produced image, the figure dominating much of the final discussion was not Meghan at all. It was Princess Diana. Meghan wanted turning 45 to symbolize confidence, independence, and a bold new beginning. Instead, many commentators saw it as another reminder of the challenges she continues to face. She can launch new products, produce polished videos, share joyful moments, and fill the internet with images of a thriving life. But she cannot force the royal family to publicly embrace her, and the comparisons to Princess Diana continue to follow her, whether she welcomes them or not. What do you think? Was Buckingham Palace simply following long-established protocol, or did the silence send a message of its own? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next royal story.